Hi guys, welcome back to Voltage Vendetta. As always, all the links for everything we're talking about in the video is going to be linked down below in the description. Okay guys, in this video we're just going to be doing a quick comparison between the Canon R7 and the Canon R6 Mark II. Let's get into it. Okay guys, so like we just mentioned, we are going to be comparing two different cameras today. Those cameras are going to be the Canon R7 and the Canon R6 Mark II. Now on the left hand side here we have the R7 and on the right hand side we have the R6 Mark II. So let's jump into it and start discussing why you might choose the R7 over the R6 Mark II. Well, to start with, the R7 has more megapixels in the camera there, about 33% more, coming in at 32.5 megapixels versus the 24.2 megapixels of the Canon R6 Mark II. Now another thing that you might want to take into consideration is that the R7 is a little bit lighter, only coming in at 589 grams, and that's about 80 grams lighter than the R6 Mark II. Now another thing that I like about the R7 is that it has first party support for live streaming. Now a camera that supports live streaming can be used to broadcast video to certain platforms like YouTube via a first party app. So if you do have a YouTube channel, the R7 might just be the way to go. The R7 also has something called Pixel Shift Shot. Now the camera can take a series of shots, shifting the image slightly with each one. These can then be combined to create an extremely high resolution image. It's particularly useful for things like photographing artwork. So if that's something that you'd like to do, again the R7 might just be the way to go. Now let's move on to the R6 Mark II. So why might you choose the R6 Mark II over the R7 here? Well, to start with, it has more focus points. It actually has 4,246 more focus points, coming in at 4,897 versus the Canon R7's 651. Now, the more focus points, the more flexibility in picking which part of the scene to focus on. They also give the image sensor a better probability in identifying the right area for the scene to focus on in more automatic modes. So that's really important to know there. Now the R7 651 is still really good, but the R6 Mark II just take it to that next level. Now another thing that I like about the Canon R6 Mark II is that it can combine image stabilization. Now the camera can utilise the camera's in-body stabilisation and lens-based optical stabilisation simultaneously. This allows you to achieve even more stops of stabilisation compared to a camera that can only use one or the other. Now both of these cameras are absolutely fantastic and I can thoroughly recommend them both, but I think the R7 is more for the intermediate photographer, whilst the Canon R6 Mark II may be suited for more of a full-time professional. But whichever way you decide to go, you're going to be getting a fantastic camera.